Good luck.
Hello there, sir. Oh, why don't you take a seat over there? So what are you doing here? Uh, not just hanging around. Just hanging around. I'm here. I'm just looking. I was here to meet someone. Here to meet someone. Who are you here to meet? Uh, just a friend. A friend. And how old was this friend? She said she was 19. Really? Try 13. What's your name, son? Falco. Now, Mr. Falco, did you correspond with this person you were going to meet? We talked briefly over the phone. Really? Well, I actually have the transcript of your conversation here. Ugh. Here it says, you ever been with an older man? No. Would you like to? Do you care to explain that one? Do you care to explain that, Mr. Falco? No, I didn't write that. Have you ever tried oral? Now, why did you write that to someone who said they were 13? She said she was 19. How do you account for this part of the transcript where you say, "You're only 13?" Question mark. But you're so mature for your age. Anyway, that's enough of that. We've had enough of that. That's just a funny little bit. We like to have fun here. We like to do these funny little bits. A little tongue-in-cheek, edgy. It's an edgy joke. And man, I'm just fucking excited for Star Fox. I'm not really making any accusations of Falco being a pedo. So for the record, I think he's probably not. The odds are definitely in the favor of him not being one. I have no reason to believe he isn't one, but I mean, you never know for sure, do you? So for the gameplay for this episode, I was planning on recording a session of Star Fox 64 until I realized that game is really not conducive to being played in the background. Because, the exciting music is blaring the whole time, the characters never shut up. It's too much noise, and it's too distracting, so we're on Shadows of Doubt. But I did want to very briefly, discuss the new Star Fox, because I've been a fan of the series for a long time, and man, it looks so fucking good. It looks like it's gonna be great. The obvious elephant in the room, the new character designs. I actually happen to like them. I think they're fitting. Like I think it's a good aesthetic for Star Fox. I don't think they look ugly. It's funny because the longer you look at them, the more used to them you get. And now there's definitely an initial you look at the designs and it's like, what the hell? But the more every time you come back to them, it looks a little better. It grows on you. The designs grow on you. It is a little disappointing that it's a remake of Star Fox 64 and not a brand new title, obviously. But it still looks pretty fun. So, I don't know. If I owned a Nintendo Switch 2, I would absolutely break my rule and buy it. My $1 equals 1 hour of gameplay rule. I would absolutely fucking break that rule and buy this game if I had a Switch 2. But I don't. And I don't think this is really... Star Fox 64, a game that I already have, coming out, is not really a good enough reason to drop $450, $500 on a new console. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to wait a little while longer. All likelihood, I'll probably not buy it right away. Maybe later, once there's more games on the Switch 2, I'll probably buy it. But it definitely looks fun. And I think it is a good direction for the series to go in. I hope it does well and they make more in this same style. My great fear, and this is only a fear because this is Nintendo we're talking about, is that they're going to release this game and this is going to be the only Star Fox title to release in the next 10 years. Nintendo does that. They release a game and then they don't touch it for decades, and then they come in with a new entry after so long. And like I said, it is kind of disappointing that it's another remake of 64, but the fact that they decided to remake 64 is a testament to how dog shit Star Fox Zero truly was. Listen, you guys, if you guys didn't play Star Fox Zero when that came out. Listen, I owned a Wii U, and I went through a little phase. And by the way, this is the reason why I try to regulate myself on buying too many games, because I buy them and then don't play them. But I went through a little phase during the Wii U era where I would just buy every fucking game that came out, and Star Fox Zero was no exception, but I was really looking forward to playing it. And dude, it was just so fucking ass. It was like unbelievable. It was unbelievable how ass it was. It had probably the most unintuitive controls of pretty much any AAA game I think I've ever played. It's actually insane how like bad it was. Basically, it had you like dual wielding. You had like shit going down on the TV screen, but you had to constantly look down at your gamepad to like actually be able to aim. It was just a total disaster. It was like a mess. This seems like it's gonna be taking a different direction than Zero. You know, if it does well enough, I may just buy a Switch 2 for this game. Not gonna lie. But I'll wait and see how the reviews go. In the meantime, you know, we just have to make do with our other games. Like, for example, Star Fox 64 regular version. So yeah. Anyway, on to the rest of the show.
Hey yo, what up, RainbowFruit gang? That's what I call my subscribers, RainbowFruit gang. I'm coming at you live from the inside of my car as I drive. I'm currently driving at 40 miles an hour through a school zone to give you a very important announcement. Basically, the announcement is that we're no longer going to be telling jokes here. Alright, no jokes. This is a completely serious channel now. We will not be doing any further bits. Instead, we will only focus on serious topics. You know, here's an example of a serious topic, in which I implore all of you to look into. It's RFK drinking a blue potion to restore his mana. I swear, guys, you have to look it up. I know I mentioned this in the last episode. Look up RFK drinks blue mana potion, and I swear you will find videos of him mixing a mysterious substance. He has this mysterious blue liquid he puts in his drinks. You know what I mean? He's on borrowed time as it is. He's falling apart at the seams. His fucking skin's coming off. But he's able to just about stay alive by consuming this mysterious substrate. I swear this is real news, 100% true news. Please do your own research.
I think I'm pretty fortunate to have a job where I can listen to things while I'm working. I can pop in my earbuds. You know, there's some days I don't even have to talk to people. I just show up to work, pop in my earbuds, and do my shit. You know, I can listen to music. I could listen to podcasts. And most relevantly, sometimes I listen to audiobooks. Now, I don't have Audible. I don't have, you know, any of these audiobook apps. So I'm basically just relegated to the free shit that you can just find on YouTube. Now, if you've never listened to audiobooks on YouTube, what you gotta understand is that mostly it's the copyright-free, you know, public domain books that are on there. You know what I mean? So you got like you're gonna be listening to a lot of old books, which is fine by me. I'm okay with reading the old classics. I mean, they're considered classics for a reason. It's because they're fucking good. You know, I don't mind listening to like Moby Dick. The only reason I was able to get through Moby Dick was because the free audiobook was just available on YouTube. You know, it's a good book. You know, there's no doubt about it. It's well told. So basically, I needed some new material to listen to at work, and you know, someone was nice enough. You know, it's on this channel called Gates of Imagination. Someone was nice enough to put together this collection of Conan the Barbarian audiobooks. You know, I listened to the first one on this, the first short story on this collection, The Phoenix on the Sword, and I was actually just kind of blown away. This is such good storytelling, and it totally like scratched an itch that I had been needing scratched. Did I say that right? Scratch an itch and scratch. The build up to this was that I had been in the mood for some good classic sword and sorcery material. I had just gotten done rewatching the classic Ralph Bakshi film Ice and Fire. Excuse me, not Ice and Fire. It's Fire and Ice. Not a very good movie, but there's things I like about it, and I've heard people are comparing it to the old Conan short stories, so I guess maybe that's what piqued my interest in these stories in the first place. But anyway, I listened to the first short story in this collection. I was blown away. I was tempted to make a segment on my show after just listening through the first story because it was just that good, and thank God I didn't, because I went ahead and listened to the next one, The Scarlet Citadel, and how do I put this? Every character is like described, like whenever a new character shows up, the first thing you find out about them is their race, and it's just very strange. Like, oh, okay, that's interesting that you would mention that. A lot of race talk, a lot of calling darker skinned folks blacks, a lot of calling, the Asian type folks yellows, and it's kind of uncomfortable because we just don't we don't say those things. Kind of weird. Not only that, but these stories are so fucking sexist. It's actually mind-boggling. Like it's not gonna make me stop reading them because there's other things to like about them, right? But if you're gonna read them, you just have to keep in mind, you have to be warned ahead of time. Literally every female character is explicitly described in the framework of like how like fucking hot and breedable they are. They all have like beautiful silky hair. They all have, plump perky titties. They're barely wearing any clothes, and they all fucking love Conan. They all can barely control themselves around him. Oh, he's just so masculine, and so oh man, I just can't even I just don't know why, but I just find myself weirdly drawn to him. Oh, he's just so, his raw masculine attractiveness. He's like a wild man. Dude, it's like crazy. I've never read Fourth Wing, but based on how I've heard people describe Fourth Wing, this is basically like this is the male equivalent of Fourth Wing in a lot of ways. There are parts of this that are almost like teetering on softcore pornography, but they're well told. I want to continue reading through them. But how do I put this? You don't want to be seen listening to them? Like, if you're going to read these, alright? Or if you're going to listen to this audiobooks, just make sure you've got your earbuds in, you know what I mean? Wear headphones, don't be blasting it where other people might be able to hear, because this is the kind of stuff you listen to in private. You know what I mean? But they're good. They're well done. They're just very... Don't just go recommending this to people willy-nilly. You gotta give them a little warning. So the other day, while I was at work, a funny incident transpired. To provide the full picture, to give you the full context, we do work for this homeowners association type organization. They have under their banner a series of condos / townhouses, and they're responsible for the maintenance for all these condos. And so they hire companies like us to go and, in this case, clean the windows. And it's a well-off neighborhood, not high class, but definitely like you had to have some money to be able to like stay in one of these places. You also got to keep in mind, all right. Let me just defend what you're about to hear for just a moment, because I did have a long few weeks. I've been working my ass off, busting my balls for the rich. You know what I mean? If you work in the service industry, you'll know what I'm talking about. The majority of the people you serve are the people probably least needing of your services. That's just the way our great God-fearing country works. You know what I mean? The person who has the money, they're the one that gets their jobs done that they want done. And the people that actually need the jobs done are often the people that don't have the money to spend. But, we're not a charity service. We can't be going around washing windows willy-nilly, so we gotta pick our markets accordingly. We gotta target these rich neighborhoods, clean their windows, because they're the ones that actually have money. But times have been tough. Gas is going up, groceries are going up, and I see all these fuck-ass, well-off people that don't have to worry about any of this shit. And, sometimes it gets to you a little bit. Sometimes it's like, oh, fuck these people. But regardless, you push those feelings aside. You have to convince them to give you their money. And so, if that means putting on a smile and being friendly and just tickling their ears with a little feather, then that's what you gotta fucking do. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is just because I'm trying to give you the full picture here, alright? I wasn't in the best of moods. And plus it was hot out, and my balls, I just shaved, so they were kind of chafing against my leg, and, there's a few other factors, alright? But we don't need to get too much into that. So I get to the backside of one of these condos, and there's a young whippersnapper in the back on his phone. And, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not the best at gauging age. This guy could have been my age. He could have been a little younger, maybe. Could have been a little older, but he's on this Zoom call or some type call like that on his phone. I have my earbuds in, so I'm listening to a podcast, or at least trying to concentrate on what's happening in the podcast, but I just can't quite help but overhear certain elements of the conversation he's having on his call. And I'm hearing words like shareholders and investors. Bro's on a work call talking about some investors. You know what I mean? This is subhuman. I have nothing in common with this person. But regardless, I'm gonna go over there and do my window cleaning. Now, if you know anything about how window cleaning works in the 2020s, you'll know that these days we don't get up on a ladder and do them by hand so much anymore. Usually we use this little device called the water-fed pole, which uses filtered water and a big brush that can extend up to clean the window. It just goes a lot quicker. You don't have to get up on a ladder. It cleans just as well. It doesn't leave any streaks because, like I said, the water is filtered. The only downside is that it pours water out of it. It's like a constant stream of water coming out of it, and it's it's a little windy out. And he's out there in his nice clothes, he's got like a Subway sandwich, he's got some paperwork out or whatever. And, I'm cleaning windows and I'm getting closer and closer and closer to him. I'm like, man, when is this guy gonna notice that I'm rapidly approaching his position? Is he gonna move, or am I gonna have to ask him to move? These business type people are often so disconnected from reality, I wouldn't even put it past him that he just didn't notice or didn't even think that, hey, this guy's getting close to me and he's pouring water and the water's getting everywhere and the wind's blasting it around left, right, and center. Maybe I should move. Under normal circumstances, I would just politely ask him to move. And I was literally just about to do that when I heard him talking about some AI in his call. I heard him say something like, yeah, investors love AI. We need to expand AI use in this sector, or some shit like that. And I gotta say, it was really quite an experience. I lost all empathy for this person in an instant, a heartbeat. I don't even give a fuck. I'm just gonna fucking blast him with water. So I took my little water-fed pole and I just started cleaning the window right the fuck next to him. And I'm talking instantly, the wind absolutely just blasted him with my water. Just pouring onto him like buckets and buckets of water. And I hear him go, oh, 1 second. And he picks up his shit and he just he scurries his way inside like a little rat or like a little mouse. You know when you pick up a piece of wood that's been laying out in a field for a while and there's like a bunch of mice under there and they scatter and they run around? That was kind of the feel of what it was like. And I gotta tell you, not only did it feel good, but I also had to genuinely suppress the urge to smile. I was trying so hard not to smile, or at least make it obvious. I just didn't want it to be obvious that I thought that was fucking hilarious, so I really tried to keep to myself. So yeah, that's my story. Not my best moment, not my bravest moment. I just blasted someone with water and justified it to myself by virtue of the fact that he mentioned AI in a call. But I think I was definitely in the right. I think I was justified in my decision. I certainly don't feel bad about it. I mean, whatever. It's fucking water. There's water everywhere. People get wet every fucking day. Am I gonna feel bad for someone getting a little water on him? I don't think so. I don't think so. But he was not happy about that. He was not happy, and he told me later that he was not happy. He asked for my boss's phone number, so I gave him a fake number. Don't know if that's gonna bite me later, because I still have to go back there and finish the work on the other condos. But there you go. You've been listening to RainbowFruit Radio, and you've been watching the gameplay of Shadows of Doubt. Stay tuned for more episodes, and in the meantime, make sure to subscribe.